One of the most entertaining things in fiction for me to witness is a character go through a redemption arc. Watching someone grow from jerk to bro is such a cathartic experience if done right. And that's exactly what this video is going to be talking about. Mostly. Today, I'm going to be talking a bit about what I think is required for a redemption arc to actually work, and which RWBY villains I think could get redemption, and which won't. Right away, I want to say, be gone with the "this person did this, though they can never be redeemed" mindset. If that's something you've said, take that thought, throw it right in the trash. It's almost like being redeemed involves having done bad things in the first place. Now, some acts are worse than others, and as such, your redemption arc mileage may vary. But at the end of the day, I do think everyone has the capability to redeem themselves. The question is if it's realistic to assume someone will go through the trouble of trying. I have a few bullet points on what I think makes for a cohesive redemption arc, so let's get into those. The first thing a character needs to start their redemption journey is them being shown capable of doing good things before their redemption begins, even if they're still a jerk. So, for example, Myrkuri has been able to commit kind deeds despite still being a douchebag. His genuine concern for Emerald and him standing up for her when Tyrion started threatening her is proof of that. If you ignore the fact that Myrkuri is an asshat, these are things that a person with a heart does. He is capable of goodness. Now, that doesn't mean he's suddenly a good person, just means he's shown moments of humanity. Then, you need the character to realize that what they've been doing is wrong. Things like denial and delusion are the key reasons why characters like Adam don't get redeemed. But we'll get to that in a second. A few characters in RWBY do understand that what they're doing is wrong, but they either don't seem to care or are too scared to face it. This is why the next point is so crucial. They actually want to change. They want to become that better person and are willing to work on it. Some people just enjoy being evil. Some people are too arrogant to think they need to become better. Some people just simply don't want to. Redemption doesn't just fall into your lap because you had some sob story for your past. If you don't actively try to become a better person, you don't even get to begin your redemption arc. Finally, I think the characters who want to be redeemed need to have an understanding that they may simply not be forgiven. Even Myrkuri and Emerald, two relatively minor villains all things considered, still helped cause the fall of Beacon that hurt so many of our heroes deeply. It wouldn't be fair to expect the heroes to forgive them, and nor should they be required to. If a character wants to be redeemed, they have to accept that reality and work to improve who they are despite it. You don't always get applause for deciding to stop being a terrorist, but it's still something you should do anyways. If a character follows all those 4 key phases, then I think they've probably had a pretty good redemption arc. Of course, it could always still mess up at the very end, but in general, this is what I think is necessary for a redemption to happen. Now, I want to highlight my thoughts on the specific RWBY villains and if I think they can be redeemed in the future. Try and keep those 4 themes in mind as I go through this part and come to your own conclusions. Let's just get the elephant, or I guess bull, goat? Probably bull, in the room out of the way. Adam Taurus was a boy who wanted equality for his people, then got smacked in the face with a branding iron and later decided, fuck humans, I'ma kill them all. By all means, which major villain doesn't seem to want all humans dead at this point? Jokes aside, Adam debatedly had a good goal in mind to start. Nothing wrong with equality. The problem is the fact that ever since the Black trailer, he's been crazy. He shows no remorse for his actions, is completely delusional to the fact that he's not the hero in this tale, and rejects every chance given to him by Blake and Yang to just leave peacefully. I do think that while it would have been possible to redeem Adam, it would have been extremely difficult to get him to realize what he was doing was even wrong in the first place. Have fun trying to redeem a dead guy anyways, Carrie. Now, what about Cinder? Well, she does seem to understand that her actions are wrong. The problem is, she doesn't seem to care. Cinder loves having power over others, and her only moments of humanization are in reference towards herself, never towards others. The fact that she revels in hurting others and hasn't shown a shred of decency in 6 volumes makes me think she will never seek redemption. Maybe she'll say, fuck you, Salem, I'm my own boss now, but not actually go through a redemption arc. All I've seen from Watts is a douchebag who enjoyed Lionheart's pain and making fun of Cinder, so I really have nothing to say on him so far. Tyrion could probably get his leg cut off by his queen, and he'd praise her for it. So I think he falls solidly into that doesn't want to be redeemed category. He's just happy where he is. Oddly cute. In a horrifying, creepy way. Neo has been shown to care for Roman, but other than that, has never once seemed to mind killing or causing mayhem. I don't think she'll ever bother with redemption, but she could always become her own third party if her little gig with Cinder doesn't end up working out. Myrkuri is an interesting case. Yeah, his backstory is tragic, but that doesn't automatically negate the fact that he seems to enjoy seeing others suffer too. Myrkuri has had humanizing moments though, with his care for Emerald prevalent, and he seems to realize that he's way out of his depth, even though he'd never admit it publicly. So he's not in denial. While I don't personally believe Myrkuri will ever become your generic good guy, I do believe he has the capability to become better. He just needs to get over this idea in his head that the only thing he's capable of is violence. Hazel is a man wounded in a way that cannot be healed. He cannot seem to process his sister's death, and I think that's shown in his semblance, what with the fact that he feels nothing but still takes the damage. Despite that, he's the only member in Salem's council who is constantly polite, noble, honest, and sometimes even kind. You know, just as long as your name isn't Ozpin. Because of that, I find it very hard to figure out if he'll be able to bring himself to the path of redemption. Salem is a fun one. She's given this huge backstory episode depicting all these bad things that happen, making us sympathize with her. Then, if you really focus, it's the fact that she has always been in denial that these bad things happened. Her inability to accept Ozma's death is what sets the entire series in motion. As Jin says, it was always someone else's fault, never Salem's own. What's she doing now? Spending her entire existence tormenting the world from the shadows. I don't think Salem will be redeemed, but I do think her story might end with peace. Finally, we have Emerald. Emerald knows what she's doing is wrong, feels bad about it, but is sadly so attached to Cinder that she couldn't break free from it. Although, now that Cinder is gone and Myrkuri has hammered it into her head that Cinder never cared about her, I do believe we're close to seeing Emerald truly get on the right path. And there you have it, guys. Those are my thoughts on what makes for a redemption arc, and which RWBY characters I think are capable of them. I hope this video gives you a new perspective on the matter. If you agreed or disagreed with anything in the video, let me know in the comments. I really like to hear your guys' thoughts. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again soon.